Okay guys, this is totally not a professional video. Sorry, I'm so shaky too. So this is my Stalkaround costume I did last year. The head is made from one of those giant trick-or-treat buckets that you can get at Target. At least that's where I got this one. I covered it. I heat shrinked garbage bags, black trash bags to it. Cut my own face in it. It didn't, I didn't follow the face that was on it. It's actually, this is technically, it's upside down. I covered the hole that was there, and anyway, heat shrink the trash bags, twisted it all up, and just heat shrink that all together to make even the stem, and then painted it afterwards. The body, you can see I've got this on a mannequin right now. Pulled it out of the garage so I could film this, but the frame is basically just PVC. The PVC sits on the shoulders. There's a crossbar right here around basically the midsection. There's also one in the back. Sorry. I kind of covered it and wrapped it with some black duct tape and some more of the shrink wrap. You probably wouldn't need to do that. Anyway, so the frame is kind of the PVC goes in kind of a V. I used several elbow pieces, and then it comes to an end. The ends that I glued in for the shoulder areas, I'd actually heat shrink the PVC and then squish it together and then drill a hole through it. And then I have the lengths of my arms. So the forearm, or sorry, the upper arm and the forearm, and then at the corners, at the joints, I basically did the same thing. Heat up the PVC, squish it together, drill a hole, and then I've got those connected with small carabiners that I got, I think, at the dollar store. And then once I had all that put together, I used like different plastic and things like that just to wrap around to build up kind of the muscle structure. Even though it's still thin, you can see it's kind of squishy. And then I heat shrinked more trash bags. That gives it a really cool organic kind of look. The paint's kind of coming off a little bit on this, so I've considered maybe recovering this with maybe some latex or some carpet latex or something like that, and then repainting or using stain to redo it. It still looks pretty good, but it would probably be more durable long term. And then everything else, obviously, just I bought some black sheets and shredded them for the covering of the framework. I've got the creepy cloth, a couple different shades that give it kind of that grody look. I actually splattered paint and things on the black underneath just to give it some layering. The helmet itself, so I do have, so the head of the character is right there, and this pumpkin head is actually mounted on the front end of the helmet. So the helmet is actually here on top of the head, and I used a metal bracket that I bought at Home Depot, and I screwed it to the top of the helmet and then ran it up the backside of the pumpkin head to kind of secure it so that it was secure. And I heat shrink that and paint it, and you never see it because it's covered with everything. And then in addition to this, I've got some black mesh fabric here, so when you're wearing this you can see out the front. There's also some creepy cloth in the way, so it's quite camouflage and you can't see the person underneath. The other thing with this is, so when you're wearing this, my mannequin's hand's there, but I attached the gloves. The finger extensions is actually just more trash bag that's twisted together and heat shrink together to form the hands, and then I glued those and heat shrink those to a pair of gloves. You can see here, and then those gloves are attached to the PVC on the end. So when I'm wearing this, if I keep my shoulders or my elbows to my sides and I have these out, it actually, you can move the fingers, and people looking at, you don't really see your arms. I wear all black underneath, so you don't ever really see. Most people that saw me, even in daylight like this, were like, how are you moving the hands? And it was hard to see. But the legs, I didn't really have a plan for that, and I was rushed for time, and so I decided to go kind of Tim Burton on it. And I used some old leggings that I had made for a clown costume and some giant shoes that I threw on there, and that's when I did kind of the wrapping around the arms and kind of did that, and it's kind of a fun character look that is very Tim Burton-ish. So that's kind of that's the way it's built. Oh, one other thing I didn't mention. So the way I did the kind of the hunched back here. So I've got the PVC frame and it comes up, but I wanted that kind of rounded look, and I had some leftover. They were actually plastic privacy slats that you would drop into chain link fence to make it more private, so you can't see. And I used those, and I actually just duct taped, rounded them, duct taped it to different parts of the PVC, and then cover it. But I mean, you could use foam, you could use practically anything to create that structure, because it's all just going to be covered with your fabric way. So sorry, it's kind of rambling. I didn't really plan what I was going to say. I just kind of pulled them out of the garage and thought I'd show you. But oh, the other thing, so the light, when I'm wearing this, I don't know if you can even see, I mounted a piece of wood and a piece of metal that I glued to the bottom there, and I had bought it's a battery operated LED flame light, and that's what I drop in there, and it actually just, it fits in the circular area, and it's magnetized, so it magnetically sticks to the bottom of that. And so I can just, I made the eye socket on this side big enough that I can fit that in, reach in and put it in place, and take it out that way. So that's the character. That's how I made it, and it's fun to wear. It's very lightweight. I'd get people stopping, walking. I'm walking down the street, and people would stop in their cars and pull over and want to take pictures. It was a lot of fun. So anyway, there you go. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and leave a comment. I'll try and get back to people if I can. So anyway, thanks. Have fun. Happy haunting.